start with, just how's the isolation been so far?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting through okay. It's 3 weeks for us now, because it's over 3 weeks because my little girl had a bad cough at school, and their school policy was to, be in isolation for a couple of weeks. But obviously, since then, the government lockdown has begun, and so yeah, it's been 3 weeks, and I think the first week was probably hardest, but we've settled into it okay, and you get your ups and downs, don't you? Especially with the homeschooling, but we're doing all right.
Well, I was going to ask that actually. How is the homeschooling doing? Like, obviously, you're a proven football manager, but is teaching a bit too far, or?
It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
I mean, football managers has lots of ups and downs, but certainly in homeschooling, there's more downs than ups. But it's, I think my wife's pulled the short straw because she's got my 4-year-old in the other room, and give it 10 minutes and he's very bored and jumping off his chair. But at least with Ruby, she's giving it a go for an hour or so, and but yeah, it's a test.
I was thinking as well, like, since your playing career and managerial career, is this the longest break you've had from football? Like, was it quite hard to get your head around?
Yeah, it is really, and I guess everyone's the same. You want to break out, don't you, and just get out there and meet people as you normally do, and get stuck into work. But it's been just like someone's pressed the pause button, and everything's been shut down from football. But you are looking at articles. You're looking at I'm speaking to Gary Plant a lot at the club about the future of our competition, this season, and seeing if it's going to be extended or not, and the ramifications if it is cancelled. Whether we're still talking promotions or relegations, but in terms of the activity level for me, it's gone really down because in the summer it's all about speaking to players and dealing with players' end of contracts, etc. And so I'm planning for pre-season. This is just a big pause at the minute.
So in the summer, usually, how do you even get like any time where you're not thinking about football, or is it like a week or two switch off, or maybe something like that?
These two little ones, and my wife, insist that I switch off. But and we normally catch the time off, when the school kids can, around the half-term time, at the end of the football season. But it's difficult, because the two worlds don't really link well, do they? The school calendar and the football calendar. But that's normally the time, and when they're in the pool, you have to think, and you have to join in, because of the age where you're worried about them. But that's the time where to switch off. But I remember last year just having my phone constantly under the sun lounger bed, so it didn't get wet when they came and splashed me, and yet I wasn't missing out on anything.
So what have you been doing to pass the time? Anything interesting?
Just try to get in a bit of a routine. We keep missing this Joe Wicks exercise group.
Yeah.
Paul Thurwell keeps telling me he's getting it on in his household, so we're missing that. I blame a real little one for that. But then we have done this bit of homeschooling because we don't want them to get behind. We've tried our best at that. Bit of a later lunch than normal, and we're having a bit of a bike ride or a walk, with the kids before tea, and we're getting through okay. We're just counting our lucky stars that we're all right health-wise each day, because you keep looking at the news, don't you, and seeing the suffering out there. It's terrible.
Yeah, and have you watched anything like interesting recently?
I've watched quite a few of the sports documentaries, on Amazon Prime, and the I'm into right now is actually a cricket one called The Test. And it's when Justin Langer became coach of Australia, and just how he stuck to the task and didn't get too down, in the early stages of his career as Australian coach. And he's just brilliant, their team spirit, and everyone seems down to earth, and he's insisting that everyone's, walks around not with an ego, and it's just really watchable, really good. And
also, I'd watched the Maradona one a few days ago. I know that's on Channel 4.
That's a marathon one, that, isn't it? Yeah. That's a long, but it's unbelievable coverage, even in those days. But some player.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting how you kind of like kind of understand him a bit more after watching it. It's very.
That's right, and I watched the Gascoigne one the other night, and that's good.
Yeah.
Because he was a real hero. Back in 1990, he used to hang around with a shell suit on and watch Paul Gascoigne strut his stuff. And actually, he went to Boston when I was at Lincoln, and I gave away a free kick pretty clumsily on the edge of the box, and he stepped up. And this is probably his final year of ever playing, and put it in the top corner just to remind us of that class. So, but yeah, it was a really good documentary.
And so moving on to the football season, obviously if you go online, there's loads of different stories. You don't know what to believe or what not to believe. But how do you think the season should be played out? Like, what's the ideal scenario for you?
Well, the ideal scenario would be to extend the season. So we finished the last 20% of the campaign. I think it would be a shame for all records, player records and team records just to be null and void and not to see what might have been. And I know there's more contractual issues at our level, say, than League 2 and League 1 and Championship and above. But I think the FA are looking into that, elongating contracts or being in a position where it can be a bit more flexible to enable it to happen. And I definitely think that there's a growing belief at boardroom level of the National League and above as well, and the EFL, for there still to be promotions and relegations. So we'd love to see the season out, so we have no regrets, and obviously we'd look to see if we can do the best we possibly can and go up.
Is it a pain though, knowing that if the season comes back and then you could get promoted, and then because it's prolonged, like all the preparation time's shorter, and then
but you're on a level playing field though, and I always trust the players, thinking that if they can get an edge, they will, with the hard work. And you drop a line to the players, Paul and I are doing, and you just know they're not going to pull the wool over your eyes. They're just they're on it, and whenever we continue, I just back them to slip straight in and do really well.
Like how have you monitored the players' fitness? Sort of.
Well, we've not insisted that the video or anything. I know that some clubs are doing that, and you send data across. We've not been in a position where we possess, an app, within our club anyway, where you do anything like record, their own sessions. But Darren Simpson is a great fitness coach for us, and he's outlined everything they should be doing in the weeks off, and each day there's an agenda of what to do and carry out, and they'll be doing that. And it's down to trust. And if we didn't trust them, we wouldn't have brought them in the first place. And they're doing all the hard work. I guess it's very hard each day at the minute, because if you're thinking that they could be doing this, and really the season could be cancelled at the end of April. It's suspended and not cancelled at the minute, and that's the important thing to wake up with each day. That no, as far as we're concerned, let's control what we can. Let's work hard and be ready for if the season starts again. But no, we really trust them, and we know they'll be ready.
And I guess mentally as well, like you just said, you could train as hard as you can be in game zone, but it must be a real killer to think, or can you not think like that the season could just be wiped clean?
Well, you're only human. If you do, mind does wander sometimes, and we're not a robot. It doesn't just blank it out completely. I think everything's just been tempered a bit with a perspective. That there's a lot of people every day. Just brand new stories coming out, the outcome of coronavirus, the victims and the families involved, and people working in horrific environments, just willing themselves to get through the day unscathed, and so football has been put on the back burner. It doesn't mean to say when it gets brought back out or when I'm asked about it, we care just as much, but there's just you've got to hopefully have a little bit of balance about life, and this has brought it home that health is first and foremost.
Yeah. So I thought we could have a bit of fun as well during this interview. So I was thinking, the Euros have been cancelled. I'd like you to name a current England XI and then an all-time one as well, please.
Right. Okay.
I think for the current one, a goalie is quite a hard pick for me personally. I'm not sure who I'd go with.
You know what? It is. I'd rather go with. Can I go with the old 11 to start with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, it has to be David Seaman in net.
Yep.
And then I would go with. Very difficult. Right. If you could mix between the old and the new, and that might be a bit shorter one. So I'd have a mixture. So I'd have Trent Alexander at right back.
Yeah.
So David Seaman old school, Trent Alexander right back. Then I'd have Rio Ferdinand centre back with Des Walker. He used to play for Sheffield Wednesday.
Okay.
I'd have that. Yeah, but he was. I'll get ridiculed for that, but he was incredible at the time. A World Cup semi-finalist as well. Stuart Pearce.
Yep.
Lionheart at left back, and then in the midfield, I'd have to probably play three in midfield because the quality that's been there. Gerrard.
Yeah.
Gerrard, Scholes, and Gascoigne.
Oh, nice.
And
No Lampard there.
Oh, well, that was always the problem, wasn't it? Playing Gerrard and Lampard together, but I'd probably just go Gerrard.
Maybe your managerial expertise might sort that problem. Yeah. Get the best out of
it. And then probably Shearer up front,
Yeah.
Down the middle, and then again, completely biased, but Chris Waddle, who nailed it in England and nailed it for Marseille in France. I loved his flair. He'd play one side, and then on the other side, difficult, really difficult. I'd have to give it some serious thought on that side. But I'd like to think one of these youngsters will come through now. Someone like Mount and be, a real trademark name in the future.
Yeah, or Sancho maybe. He's looking very lively.
I mean, they've not done it at that level yet, but you'd like to think, because how many times has the left-hand side for England been a big question mark for someone really nailing it for a long period of time? So that'll be a hard one to decide at the minute. So yeah, that's probably a mixture between the two teams.
That's nice. Thank you for that. So, apart from football, obviously, which sport would you say you're missing the most at the moment? Because it is really weird. There's just a massive void. For me personally, there's not a lot to do in all this.
No, there isn't. I mean, I've found myself just reading more, and be able to read and pick up a book.
Yeah.
Read a management one called "Living on the Volcano." That's good. Of being in a management game. And then I've got a novel on the side as well. Then I've got another book. So at least that's something to sort of occupy the brain. Painting the fence. Can you believe it's probably the first time I've tried to paint the fence. Again, time on my hands. And I painted it with Ruby the other day, a little girl, and this is how naive I am at that. I opened the lid up and thought it was brown, which it was, and then as we've got lower towards the bottom of the tub of paint, there's orange coming through, and I just haven't mixed it. So I've got one side of the fence brown and one side orange at the minute, which is a bit of a nightmare. So we're going to have to order more paint. So I'm allowed to make those kind of mistakes because I've got time to make up for it.
I'd recommend Tyson Fury's autobiography. If you
really?
Yeah, very good read, is that?
I think he's a brilliant character and quite refreshing, really, isn't he? So I'd love to watch that, read that, yeah.
What about the memoirs of Simon Weaver?
I'm not sure it'd be a bestseller, but plenty of ups and downs.
10 years in football, football management.
I think, someone showed me a photo earlier of when Bill had brought the local priest in, to rid the club of bad luck, and this was in the first couple of years. So that was something to look back on. But there's been lots of stories and lots of ups and downs during the 10 years, but I just hope there's a lot of good memories to come.
So yeah, I think that would be quite an interesting book. I'd read it.
Right, I better get some notes down there.
Yeah. And then maybe a film from that, you never know.
Who would you think would play me then?
I'm not sure. Have you seen maybe the actor from? Have you seen Homeland?
Oh yeah, I'd take that.
Yeah, with if he grew a beard.
Yeah, he's got to get the white in the beard as well.
Yeah.
That's coming through nicely, but yeah. I remember back in the 90s. Meeting a couple of people in a nightclub, and they said I had a bit of a look at Dawson from Dawson's Creek. So I would like to see what it looks like now, see if he's aged a lot better.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks for talking to me, Simon.
No problem.
And look after yourself, and hopefully next time I see you will be on the touchline.
Yeah, brilliant.
I hope so. Yeah. And,
All right.
thanks for talking to me.